foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about pros and foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about
comic books, costumes, facts, boots, and other stuff.
In this week's issue, Plasmer.
Welcome into Bros, Foes, and Heroes. I am your host, Zach, joined by let's say, the Damian Wayne to my Bruce Wayne, Mr. Mike. Yes, it is a Batman and Robin, so it's kind of technically it's one that's overdone, but I can do Batman and Robin multiple times.
Who's Damian Wayne?
He was Batman's son.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with Talia al Ghul.
Talia al Ghul.
Yeah. You know Ra's al Ghul's daughter?
Oh yeah, sure. Of the St. Petersburg ghouls.
No,
sure.
All ghouls.
Oh, okay.
Not just ghouls. Those are ghosts.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, they were in Scooby-Doo.
What am I thinking? That's just stupid.
So there we go. I completely forgot where I was going now.
Okay.
So that's great. Basically, Damian becomes he's trained by his dad and becomes another Robin eventually down the line.
Gotcha.
So here we are, episode whatever it is. And Mike,
everybody knows we need more Robins.
There's a lot of them. We've discussed that previously. I don't know if we talked about it. Let's just go ahead and get into our first just off the rails thing before we get into is everything okay over there?
Yeah.
All right, you made it look that I thought that I said something wrong.
No. I'll show it to you in a minute.
Okay. I don't know I know we talked about your hatred of White Lotus last week.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I mentioned it then, but I had started watching a show on Netflix called Clickbait.
Yeah, you said something about it.
Okay. I finished it.
Yeah.
It was decent.
Was it?
Yeah. It wasn't awful. I enjoyed the story. I thought the acting, there was a little overacting sometimes.
So it was a good story.
It was an intriguing story.
As opposed to White Lotus, it had a story.
It did. I couldn't get past the first episode of White Lotus. So it might have developed a story.
No. I got through 2. That's as far as I'm going.
The only thing I will say about, and I guess kind of spoiler alert, if you don't want anything to be ruined about this clickbait show.
Who cares?
Okay.
Just do it.
Fine. I don't like when it's filled with twists. It's one of those, it's a thriller. So they want you to, but for 2 episodes, I thought I'd already figured out the twist before it happened.
Oh.
And I figured part of it out. But the last episode, it's kind of but here's the surprise. But there was no clues that they gave for it to be that.
Oh.
So it's kind of like they were people are going to figure out what we're trying to do. So to surprise them, we'll just throw something at the wall.
So they called up Shyamalan and he said, "Oh, do this."
Yeah.
Make them old on a beach.
That wasn't great, but it's like a character not developed at all. Right at the end, who's supposed to mean so much.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with this White Lotus crap. People just keep telling me, "Oh, you got to watch it. It's so good."
They're still bothering you about it?
I'm not going to just because they keep saying
I
something
love
at this
Steve
point.
Zahn as an actor.
Me too.
But, one actor usually can't save.
It's even got the lady from Best in Show.
Not Jennifer Tilly. Yes, I know who you're talking about. Yes, she's in Legally Blonde. She's in a lot of stuff.
She's fantastic.
I love her, and I can't think of her name either.
This is not her vehicle.
And some people like it. Some people like Connie Britton too, so she's in there as well.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and get into comics because that's what we're talking about. So Plasmer.
Hey, Mike, by the way, just real quick before we talk about Plasmer, I want to bring this back in and let everybody know that he still sucks.
Are we not going to say the name? Because I already know who we're talking about when you do that.
Snyder still sucks.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, we're done. All right.
I want it to be known, Mr. Snyder, when you listen to these, at this point, as a fellow Zach, I have nothing but respect for you. So I have been quiet. I want you to know that when you come on our show, you can just answer my questions and just give Mike dirty looks.
That'll be great.
So Plasmer is our hero today, and it's from Marvel UK is the printing.
Okay.
So it is a Marvel comic, but did you realize that there was a Marvel UK branch, Mike?
I did not, and I feel silly at this point for not realizing that there's probably several Marvels, like Marvel India, Marvel UK.
I know it started back in 1979, but just so you don't feel like you are left out, I'm just going to read some of their other titles to you. Things like Motormouth and Overkill.
Overkill's not a bad name.
No. There was Codename Genetics, and Genetics ends with an X because
Street Smart.
Yeah. I talked about Kill Power. There was Digitech.
Kill Power?
Yeah, here, let me show you Kill Power.
My name is Kill Power.
Kill Power.
Oh, boy, look at him.
These are all Marvel UK titles.
Yeah.
We also Body Count. So
Body Count's not bad, though.
I know there were other things. I just highlighted some of the more over the top ones. But so there is a Marvel UK imprint. But today we are talking about Plasmer. And the reason I bring up that it's Marvel UK because Plasmer's real name is, and I'm going to butcher this because it's spelled Oonagh. So
Unagi.
No, there's no I.
Oogie.
Just Una.
Oogie. Agi.
I'm going to go Una Malarkey.
Spell it Malarkey?
Her last name is Malarkey.
Malarkey.
I did.
Okay.
Her first name, Oonagh. Una.
Una Malarkey.
And her last name is Malarkey.
Una Malarkey, por favor.
Una Malarkey. I guess before we get into it, this is we're looking at her origin story here. 1993 for Plasmer is when she debuts and is created by Glenn Dakin and Pascal Ferry.
Okay.
This is also a series from Marvel UK.
She is a weird looking gal.
She is a weird looking gal, but she is also very much drawn like
she's
the heavy metal type.
She's barely clothed.
Yes. Like this is an early 90s thing that happened a lot. 80s, 90s. But it seemed like if there was a female character, they were going to over accentuate anything and have her wear as little clothes as possible.
But you saw a weird look on my face a while ago because I was looking at this image right here.
Yes.
It's not a great one.
It's not a great one. But also, do you have it where you can see the speech bubble? Because I remember that from the comic book. I think it's in the first issue.
The energy has found the ideal form for its own survival. I am now something.
Yeah, I'm now Plasmer. This is when she becomes so
she is like, I mean, she is muscle bound.
Yes.
Like China type muscle bound. Yes. China the wrestler. But then in the middle, there's some sort of like where her six pack should be all the way down to like her pubic bone. There's some sort of weird insert thing there.
Isn't it just like more muscles?
I don't think so because look, whenever you look at it, right, you think, okay, well, that's just muscles. But then when you look there's that. I
think it's just part of her costume.
Hang on. Maybe. I like to think that it's terrible.
Well, no, it's bad. But I was just saying, so she is over-sexified.
See what I mean?
Yeah, but I think it's just abs.
It should be another color.
It should be. The shading's weird on it. Yeah. But
anyway.
So
and lots of hair.
Yes.
A lot of hair.
Big hair.
Share hair.
Yes. Like really curly, just share hair.
That's my favorite one when they squish her down. That's perfect. We're looking at an image of her and the image has been squished. And she just looks...
So she definitely is an over sexified, if that's a word, character. Right. Yeah, hi, I'm Plasmer. That's the first.
That's the cover of the magazine.
That's the cover of the first one.
Hi, I'm Plasmer.
Let me tell you a little bit about Plasmer here, though. So Unag Malarkey is a scientist at MizTech. Get it?
Okay.
Mystic MizTech.
Oh.
And they have been working on this he's apparently the oldest man in the UK. Like they have him as a test subject and they're trying to get him to admit things. Like he knows a secret that they're trying to uncover. We don't know what that secret is.
All right.
His name is Jack Smithers, in case you're curious. So Smithers, the names in these are great, by the way.
Jack Smithers and Una por favor.
But she decides that she's had enough and somebody has shown her how to do these ancient ritual things and she ties herself up to it and goes through with it, and it basically kills Una Malarkey and it creates, again, I'm oversimplifying this because there's a lot of panels set up. It kills Una Malarkey and it separates her into two like forms. It's her, all the good in her is one form, and what is left is, so all the bad in her is another form.
Mm-hmm.
The bad basically turns into a version, like it takes a version of herself. Like it still looks like Dr. Malarkey.
Right.
They just obviously oversex her as well because it's the 90s later.
Right.
And so she goes from wearing lab coats to super skimpy things and like what was LeVar Burton's character in Star Trek?
Comb face.
No, but you know the little Geordi.
Geordi.
She has like a similar like band thing over her eyes.
Yeah. Oh, does she?
Yeah. So the good form turns into Plasmer. Plasmer, the hero, is basically all the good that was in Dr. Malarkey.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. But very strong now.
Yes, but very strong and nothing, but basically made up of, it's a whole thing of she's made up like plasma. Like she can change her appearance. You know, I showed you the first cover of the series has like a giant green monster behind her.
Yeah.
She can change into that giant green form.
Yeah, it says, "Hi, I'm Plasmer," and then back behind her is the big green monster that says, "Me too."
Yeah. So she can shift shape into that.
Shift shape.
Also, she changes to a fist at one point in time in the 4 series, the 4 issues that we're covering here of her origin.
So there was a 4 issue origin series.
Yeah. First. It was the first story.
I gotcha. Okay.
I want to bring up first before we get into the story itself, that this was actually part of a lawsuit between Marvel Comics and Defiant Comics in the early 90s.
Okay.
The comic, of course, called Plasmer. Defiant, who was founded by former Marvel editor-in-chief Jim Shooter, had a new book that they were coming out with just called Plasm. Plasmer, Plasm.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel had the Plasmer copyright in the UK.
Gotcha.
Not in the US, though, but they were trying to get it. Okay. Marvel said, took them to court. There's too much confusion. Yeah. Defiant came back with a list of like, hey, here's a list of things that we can call it. Which one do you guys approve the most? Never heard back from Marvel about it. So they decided to name it like the Warriors of the Plasm, something like that, something completely different.
Sure.
Also, the case was withheld, though, that because Marvel didn't have the copyright in the U.S., that they couldn't force them not to change it, but they had already changed it because they were trying to just move on, settle out of court.
Right.
All in all, it cost Defiant won because of this, but it cost them $300,000 in legal fees.
Yikes. For
a startup company that started in 1992.
Yeah. They
were out of business by 95.
Wow.
Part of this was because of they had a huge toy. I dug into this because I enjoy.
Yeah.
They had like this toy line set up with Mattel.
Is this did this all come from comiclawyer.com?
Yeah, comiclawyers.com or comiclawyer.com. Yeah. They had a huge toy deal. Defiant Comics had a toy deal set up with Mattel for these new characters they were making, which would have been huge and would help them along.
Right, sure.
But Mattel had a standing at the time that, or from that point moving forward, after the Plasm lawsuit, that you have to promise us that there's no way any other property you give us can be, and they couldn't, so they lost out on the Mattel bill.
Wow. Yeah, that sucks.
Marvel never got the Plasmer copyright in the U.S.
Wow.
So that's just some interesting backstory about this comic going in, and there is a reason I did include that story.
Okay.
We'll see. It'll come up again. So
because you're studying for the comic book law
I want to be the first comic book lawyer. Any comic book characters in trouble, come to me and I will represent you.
Okay.
I know everything.
All right.
Setting up for if their Roger Rabbit type world is real.
Sure. Yeah. You can decide duck season, rabbit season. I mean,
exactly. I could help figure that out.
Things like that.
So this whole series is that Jack Smithers character we talked about, the evil version, which is now just referred to as Dr. Malarkey.
Okay.
Or Dr. Malarkey.
Dr. Malarkey
finds a way to kind of incept Mr. Smithers, which I feel weird calling him Mr. Smithers because that's the Simpsons. Yeah. So finds a way to, Jack Smithers. There we go. And gets him to tell him about the code word to open up or wake up these sleeper agents.
Gotcha.
that were created back during World War One.
Okay.
Well, the sleeper agent, the first one, is a statue. It's not like actual human sleeper agents.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know how they did item super agents. It's tried to explain like it's because it's not a living thing. Technically, you can't kill it, even though they find a way to destroy them all. But it's because it constantly changes between solid and light. And
okay.
Comic book science that I'm not going to get into and just confuse everybody.
Marvel UK Plasmer comic book science.
I'm just going to tell you that we get a sleeper agent that's a statue at first that they defeat.
Sure.
Plasmer is helped by Captain Britain and Black Knight to do this.
I thought I saw that that's on like the second cover or something,
Mm-hmm.
right? Captain Britain I always liked.
Yeah.
Thought he was all right.
He's cool.
Black Knight's not bad either.
No.
Yeah.
Neither of them are.
I don't know what they're doing hanging around with this
Captain
weirdo.
America shows up in this 4-issue
Really?
set.
Huh.
Yeah. He talks to because he and Jack Smithers know each other.
He took a left turn at Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Ended up in
the UK. And then also Silver Surfer
Really?
makes an appearance in here.
Silver Surfer.
All of them to battle because the second one is a sleeper agent out of like this stained glass window.
Okay.
There's another one eventually that's just...
We're going to need a herald to come in and help us defeat this stained glass window.
There's another one eventually that's just made out of light.
Uh-huh.
So like your punches don't hurt it, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Unless you turn the
It's
light
all
off.
weird, silly,
Huh.
just kind of stupid.
So I've looked at the covers of these 4, and they're all seem to be trying to tell a story, but a lot of them have these man-robot things in them, like that she's fighting. What are those?
The man robot things. I'm sorry, I don't.
No, these guys.
So those are soldiers at the Ms. Tech.
Ah, okay.
Okay, you see the lady in black? That is now Dr. Malarkey.
Okay.
That is the evil version of that's all the evil that was left. And there is a scene where she purposely let's talk a little about Dr. Malarkey as a villain right now.
Then you're going to have to explain a couple of words to me here in a minute that I've found.
I'm going to try to.
You go ahead.
But just know I read all 4 issues and still might not be able to.
Sure.
So, Dr. Malarkey now has discovered where all these sleeper agents are, and she wants to go obviously wake them up. Or there's also something like deep underground. They're basically trying to cut off connection. She's trying to harness all this power from these things.
Right.
Somebody else is going to lead the mission. She is tired of not being able to be given the lead on things. Like it's the insecurities that Dr. Malarkey had from the beginning.
Okay.
Like,
all right.
I do all this work and they always give it to somebody else kind of thing.
Gotcha.
So she goes to the colonel that was going to lead it and installs a attaches a death simulator to his armor and causes him to have a stroke.
A death simulator.
Death simulator. Yeah. And it causes him to have a stroke.
May I ask, what is a death simulator?
It's something she just stuck to his armor and then he died.
Okay.
That's the best way to put it. She did. She just stuck it to his armor.
Death simulator.
And he died.
You're not really dead, but it's scary, huh?
No. He dies from it. So it simulates his actual death.
Okay.
Like it's called a death simulator, but he dies. So it's not like a cool, fun one. It's like, hey, we're simulating death for real.
It's not like those ones they sell in the back of the comics.
Yeah, and they're like,
Hey, kids,
now
death
you know what it
simulator.
feels like. Yeah. Are they preparing you for death? I don't know.
That's right.
So she's able to take over then the team to go and actually look for this stuff. She also they discover this
oil
place of knowledge kind of thing, and all the other soldiers we should take them back to Ms. Tech per protocols. And instead of doing that, she just shoots them all because she's like, no, I don't want to. I want this for me kind of thing. So those are who you see are the soldiers, the evil Ms. Tech soldiers.
Sure.
What are the words? I've told you this. It's really.
So the words. This is issue 3 of 4, right? So the third in the series.
Mm-hmm.
And on the front it says, "For sensitive readers." ...
I don't know.
I don't know. Like there's no rest of the sentence. The only thing I can think of. See, and this is, and maybe this is terrible of me to think of this way, but this lady has very little clothes on.
Yeah, both of them.
And she's got guns in her hands and stuff like that. And then it says for sensitive readers. So they're either trying to make me think that it's like, that parental warning sticker, or that something sexy is going to go on in this comic book.
Well, here's the thing, though. I would think that with people killed on the cover and her dressed like that, it should say not for sensitive readers, because that makes logical sense.
That's true. Well, it is the UK, though.
That's true. So for sensitive readers, maybe, do you think this was a 93? What is the chances somebody bought that thinking there might be cartoon smut in it?
Oh, I'm thinking it's pretty heavy.
There's at least one guy.
Well, think about in the UK, though, also, they have an actual newspaper you can pick up that's got somebody nude on page 4.
That's true.
Every week. So
that's true. It's different over there.
It is different over there.
They're
very sensitive readers over there.
They're very sensitive that we're sensitive that we don't care that, what you put out there.
Okay.
There's nothing.
I just thought maybe there was like something sensitive happens. I didn't know how to.
I mean, I guess technically Plasma's on a trip of self-discovery because she's like this alien being that she's trying to figure out how to work this body and stuff now. It
seems almost like Venom.
It is, except they completely split.
Oh, okay.
It's like if Eddie Brock was possessed or taken over by something, and then you had Venom by itself, and like a evil version of Eddie Brock left.
Yeah,
I guess Venom would be the good guy in this sense.
It's the same kind of setup, though. Basically,
yes, it is.
By the way, there's no way in hell I'm watching that new Venom movie.
The new one?
No, I'm not watching that crap.
I watched the other one, so I feel like I have to.
But you liked it, didn't you?
I thought it was okay. Like is kind of strong.
Yeah.
I'll give it I've seen worse for sure.
Well, yeah, sure. I just don't, anyway, we've talked about this before. I
get it, and that's fine.
I hate the way they're treating Venom.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess you can look at it as one way, or I looked at it, the first Suicide Squad that came out.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, it's awful. The way I looked at it was, well, Margot Robbie wasn't as Harley Quinn. And out of it, Harley Quinn's always been one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
So I looked at it as, hey, I got to see Harley Quinn in a real life movie.
No, I get that.
So maybe, hopefully, for those people who wanted to see Venom, it's at least good enough for you.
I just don't like
the general.
I don't like the jokey Venom, giving people high fives and stuff. That's just no, thank you.
I think it's probably because of study group or focus groups. They didn't like how.
I'm sure.
I watched and here's now our second complete detour.
Okay.
I've read stories and watched multiple videos though of just in the Army of Darkness t-shirt that you're wearing is perfect for this, of how so many things have been changed for the American audiences.
Oh yeah.
Just like endings of movies.
Oh, absolutely.
Or everything. Army of Darkness being one, because the ending we got here was him in the supermarket.
Right.
And the what are they called?
The witch. Or
whatever comes back and he kills her there. Whereas everywhere else got the one Deadites. There you go. Yeah. Where everyone else got the one where he drank a little too much.
He was the guy who sleeps too long.
Rip Van Winkle.
He's Rip Van Winkle. Basically,
that's what he looks like. Yeah, and he gets out and it's at a post-apocalyptic. Like he overslept. He slept too long.
Yeah.
Which fits the movie.
It does, but I do like him shooting back in the store, back in S-Mart.
That's fine. Well, either way, though, I think I read that Sam Raimi just loves the fact that there's two endings to the movie.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm sure he does.
But there's other ones like that where things are so are changed because of what was one of the other ones? Did you ever see Brazil?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in I think the U.S. version, he ends up escaping.
Right.
Everywhere else, they don't. He goes through with the lobotomy.
Got it.
And it's things like that. For the most part, U.S. moviegoers don't like bleak endings.
Well, I don't think they give us an opportunity to like a bleak ending.
Well, I think that they look at, a lot of this was based off of focus groups and stuff like that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure that anywhere else in the world, our entertainment is run through as many focus groups and as many executives and things like that,
So you think that we have a form here that it's already prepackaged or disposed to what people are already going to watch?
Yeah, I think so. I think that that's why every once in a while when you get a really good movie, you're like, oh shit, I think that one went under the radar or whatever. It's amazing to me that they let James Gunn make that Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Because things have changed if that's the case.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So,
all right. Well, I found it very interesting.
As much as I bash Snyder, I think that most of the problems with his movies are focus groups and executives and DC people getting involved and all this crap. Yeah. No, I think hire a guy, hire a person and let them direct the friggin' movie. Right. Exactly. We went to see Candyman.
The new one
over the weekend. Yeah. Extremely well made.
Okay. I was hoping it was
extremely well made. It gave me Shining vibes, like those kind of shots. Oh. It's very good. Yeah.
Well, I need to watch it. Is Tony Todd in? Or what's his name?
Yeah, the original guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
It is. It's got a little bit of a racial undertone story, which I mean, the first one did too. You know. But I was not turned off by it at all or anything like that. I mean, they didn't try to force anything down your throat or whatever. Well, it's just really well done.
That's the beauty. And obviously I think Jordan Peele was just a producer on it.
Yes, he was executive.
So there was somebody else who directed and stuff too.
It was a woman that directed it, which I did not realize.
Which is awesome. Yeah. And I don't want to obviously, so then with things like that, they sell it because of Jordan Peele, because of what he did with Get Out and Us, which was the same way of both. Well, Get Out obviously had way more racial undertones.
How has this become a movie review podcast?
I don't know. I guess we can get back to Plasmer, but
you're just like anything to get away from Plasmer.
No,
please.
Oh, okay.
It sucks.
I'll just make the point is that they're able to, and the people that he has been affiliated with are able to tell a story, have a message, and not beat you over the head with it.
Yeah.
But okay, that's good to know then.
Yeah,
I need to go watch.
It's really cool. It's really cool.
All right,
and we actually saw it in the theater, which was
nice,
weird.
Oh,
but yeah,
were there a lot of people?
We were in Belton.
Oh, okay.
Saw it there. A really nice theater.
That's awesome. So back to Plasmer. Basically, just to wrap it all up because she's a ridiculous character.
Yeah, this character sucks.
They do end up defeating all the sleeper agents with the help of Silver Surfer and stuff. So
I just don't even understand how Silver Surfer fits into that story, but okay.
Honestly, he's visiting like the Natural History Museum of London, and like something smashes through, or he hears that something's going on and goes out to see it.
That doesn't make any sense.
He's just there by happenstance.
Why is he going to a museum?
I don't know, but he's out. Like other people are in the museum with him. They defeat all the sleeper agents. And another cool thing though about these Plasmer, like this origin story, Mike, is that each comic came bagged with trading cards.
I did see the trading cards.
Yeah. So that was cool. And then on the last issue, obviously,
that always makes me think though the product sucks if you got to put something else with it.
Well,
but
so they had special trading cards for it. And then on the last issue, it says, obviously, coming again next year. So they finished the origin story and they teased for the next year. Plasmer never appears again.
Okay.
And that's part of the reason why I included the Marvel lawsuit is the company went bankrupt basically over a comic or a lawsuit from a comic that only appeared in 4 issues.
For a character that never appeared again. That's awesome.
Yeah. So Plasmer.
That's got to be one of the most expensive characters ever then.
Yeah, there you go. Plasmer, one of the most expensive characters ever created. So, or at least you want to talk about having an effect. Like it put people out of work, essentially. Like granted, there's other things that led to Defiant's downfall.
Sure.
But the fact that you're out $300,000 in legal fees over Plasmer.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Is not a good.
It's probably those trading cards that really put them under.
It was. Finally. I wonder if there are. Like if I can find Plasmer trading cards, Mike, can we like put them up here?
Oh yeah,
in the safe. I found that.
Did you say put them in the safe?
Put them in the put them.
Okay.
And keep them for later.
I'm gonna have to buy a safe, but yes, we can put them in there.
I said put them up here. I meant to say like for the show, like in the room we are.
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah.
But no, you put them in the safe too. Those things might be worth something one day.
They're worth something. All right.
Oh man. Or just I've also thought about just buying random issues. And then like
how random is it if it's just 4?
Well, no.
not
I
very
mean, of like all the stuff that we cover, like
Oh,
all the
okay.
ones
I
we've
got you.
covered.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to like build a wall of
That's
just
cool.
like,
I love it.
like a Hall of Shame type
Hall of Shame comics.
and then we'll just have the Plasmer trading cards up there too.
Yeah, Plasmer's wonderful.
Oh,
Love
man.
that. Love
So,
that goofy naked girl.
I know there wasn't necessarily a lot to this character, but this one was just more the story to me that I found funny of everything that happened.
Yeah.
Not funny, obviously.
No, I get it. It's just,
but,
well, it is for us. Sure.
oh
it is
yeah,
funny.
yeah. But and the fact that it is just a terrible character.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
but at the same time, I think how many times have they done like, oh, make sure to catch, them next year. And then next year never comes for that character.
Yeah, exactly.
There's so many of them, but there's the scantily clad Plasmer and Dr. Malarkey, Una Malarkey.
Una Malarkey, please.
So there you go.
Well, that was great, Zach. Good job.
Thank you. Hopefully the other.
Some of this time that you're spending on these comics, you're really going to want back when you're dying.
Oh, well, especially this one. The fact that I read 4 issues of Plasmer. Well, the only issues of Plasmer.
Yeah.
That'll definitely come up. That'll be one.
So these were $75,000 a piece, right?
Yeah.
Is that the correct?
Yes.
math?
Basically,
Yeah. Each issue costs
costs
$75,000.
Defiant Comics for them to be able to produce their Warriors of the Plasm. $75,000 an issue.
Yeah. For sensitive readers.
Yeah. Only sensitive readers, though.
Sure.
So there you go.
No, that was great, man.
That was that episode. I probably need to go villain route, I think, for the next time. It's been a while since we've had a good baddie.
Yeah, find me a weird villain.
I will. I'll find somebody just strange. There's
Basically, I've just told you to go to DC. That's what I've said.
That's true. And the one that I was thinking of, because I like to just, sporadically look out. There is one eventually I'll get to. I'm not going to promise him anytime soon, but his name's Swarm. Mm-hmm. And he's like, is
he made out of bees?
He is.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, he was doing like studies on experiments with bees, and somehow he died. But then the bees took over. Probably he and Silver Surfer were there.
They were just hanging out talking about bees.
So we'll do a villain.
I
next
hate it when
week.
my boss eats all those planets.
Oh man, that's
me
the
too.
worst.
Hey, at least I know enough comics
that's
to
true.
make that reference.
No,
right?
you did, and I got it. So there you go.
Yeah.
You can find us on Instagram, Bros, Foes, Heroes, or feel free to email us at bros, foes, and heroes @gmail.com. Mike, anything you'd like to pitch for us?
Yeah, I'm going to do this one more time. I'm just going to keep doing this until it becomes a thing. It's like a vision board. You speak things into existence.
Yeah.
We are brought to you today by Testacuzzi for the nuts.
There you go. Testacuzzi. If you don't have one, why not?
Sure.
So that does it for us.
If you don't have one, why not?
That's my
catchy.
tagline. I like it. That's my new tagline for him. If you don't have one, why not?
Mercedes. If you don't have one, why not?
Why not? Like,
sure.
It's an easy buy. That does it for us today.
Ton of fun.
Thanks as always for listening, guys. Until next week, stay safe.
Got a gun! Frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.